What's going on, YouTube? So you want to set up a new tank. Well, I have a couple of starting points for you, for those of us who want to set up new tanks and whatnot. First off, know what you want to keep in the tank. You know, that's part of my dilemma now. I got tanks but don't really know what I want to keep in them. But for most people, get a tank, you pretty much have a good idea of what you're planning on keeping in it, whether it's going to be cichlids or non-cichlids, African, South American. You may want to go with a native tank setup. You may want to go brackish. You know what you're getting yourself into. Now, most people do their homework and they know exactly what they're walking into. But some of us, and I say some of us because at one point I was one of those people who would be at Walmart or walk in a Petco for something and, oh, I think I'll get a tank and put whatever kind of substrate you're going to put in there and then run right out and get fish. And we all know that that's not that's not going to bode well for the fish going into the tank. So step one is to know what you want to put in the tank. Step two, and I'm not one for that lengthy cycling period. But what I do is, because I have canister filters on my big tank, I will take some of the media out of the canister filter that's on a tank that's already been cycled, add it to the new tank, i.e. this one. When I build a filter, because I'm going to build a filter for this one, when I build a filter, I will just add some of that pre-cycled media to it, and there you go. You know, pretty much an instant cycled tank. Or, and there's different ways to go about doing it. You can do just a junk fish cycle, which would entail getting goldfish or something, sticking them in the tank, and letting the tank cycle that way. You can do a fishless cycle, which entails adding ammonia to the tank and going that route. Or you do what I've noticed more and more of my friends in the hobby are doing, and that's adding some very hardy plants to the tank. And because the plants are going to take up everything in the nitrogen cycle, and we'll talk about that in a later video, but those plants are going to use pretty much all the waste in the tank. And again, there you have it, almost an instant cycle. So my thing would be to know what kind of fish you're going to get. Do your homework on the fish. Know if the fish you're going to get to be a 6-foot fish, a 40 breeder is not going to get it done. You're going to need a 6-foot tank. But actually, if the fish going to get 6 feet, you're going to probably need about a 10-foot tank. We don't see very many of those in the hobby, but there are out there. They are out there. I got a friend right now. Where is he at? I want to say he's in Conroe. I could be mistaken on his actual location, but he's working on a 1,100 gallon tank. So there you have it. Again, it's sorry to get off track, but know the fish you're going to put in there, get the tank, get the substrate, figure out how you want to cycle the tank, because it's really up to you. Get the tank cycled, then get your fish. That's going to be, the best outcome for the fish and for the hobbyist. Either way, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you all later.